I'm Felix Levine, and welcome to Unlike Me, where I sit down with fascinating people I have nothing in common with.
And we're live. Erika, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're all friends and we know each other outside of here, but I was so excited because I have more questions about you and, understanding how you got to where you are today, and things that sometimes we don't chat about because we're just goofing off when we're all hanging out. So thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you. I'm really excited.
Is there something the world doesn't know about you from what's out there on the ether web of
Yes.
things?
I mean, I feel like I've shared so much here and there, like on lives and stuff, but nothing that I've spoken about permanently. I would say that I was on a dance team in college, which makes no sense. I have no background in dancing at all. I used to cheerlead. It's not the same as dancing.
So wait, do we have footage from this?
No, we
you
probably do on Facebook. I'd have to do some digging. I have tried to just hide that as much as possible. I wasn't good. I actually don't even know how I made the squad. The story is that my best friend and we went to college together, and freshman year she wanted to get involved. I don't know, she just wanted to be involved in something, and she was like, there's a dance team, we love to dance. I'm like, bitch, it's not the same. Can we curse on here?
Of course, please.
I'm like, bitch, it's not the same as us making up dance routines in your basement when we were in 7th grade. And she was like, no, just do it, please. She convinces me to audition. Why did I make the team and she didn't? So now I'm
so you're
stuck.
Pause, I thought this was a us thing.
I thought it was an us thing. No, so she was just a sideline cheerleader for the rest, just being supportive. But I made the dance team and it was totally an accident.
So how long did you have to partake in this?
I was doing it, so it was just for basketball season, I believe.
Okay.
Right? I think it was just
Where'd you
basketball
go?
season. I went to Dominican College. Okay. It's a small little Catholic private school. Actually, it's a Dominican university now. They've upgraded.
It's not. Is that old Dominican? That's old. That's
no,
a different
no.
thing.
I don't.
OD.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was just Dominican College. Now it's Dominican University. But yeah, I think I did it for 2 semesters maybe. I met some nice people, but no. So yeah, I was a dancer, guys.
So, okay. If I told 10-year-old Erika she'd be content creator, influencer, what is she saying to me?
Duh. She's like, obviously, you're made for TV. I always had a feeling that I was going to be in front of a camera in any sort of capacity. So I don't think I would have been surprised. Although I was kind of shy growing up, but I always liked to perform though. I definitely, I don't know how, I just beat the shyness with just getting up there and auditioning and singing in kindergarten in front of the whole class and just little things here and there. I was never in theater or anything growing up, even though that's my biggest regret is not being a theater kid.
Really, why?
Because I just wish I did, everyone's always talking shit. You're just caught up in wanting to be cool and popular.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case, except now I'm it
cool,
is fucking cool to be in theater. So I never did that. But if I were to tell my 10-year-old self, I wouldn't be surprised, really. I know that sounds so, that sounds so
I mean,
fucked,
honestly,
but,
no, because there's some people that are just what? No, I never would have imagined. Right. But it kind of seems like you knew a camera or performance would be in the cards at some point.
Yeah, I always felt that. For sure.
And so I was doing a little bit of research before as to what you were doing prior to content.
Yes.
At least it comes on the internet. It comes up
what came
as...
up? You were you were a stripper. You were
a stripper.
You worked at Outback. You were all these random jobs.
You were in the cosmetic packaging field.
Yes, I was.
Now, what does that mean? That's a very broad term that's on the internet. So,
yeah.
And I didn't know this.
So I was a project manager, and I worked with a lot of brands, beauty brands, and I helped develop their packaging. So deco and logos and stuff like that. Yep. And I would be kind of the middleman between the customer and the factories that we used to work with overseas. I actually really liked my job. Like I actually found a lot of joy in it. So I always say, if this doesn't work out,
Just go
I
right
would
back.
be, yeah, I would be happy to go back. But yeah, and actually, full circle moment is one of the brands that I used to work on their packaging. They actually just invited me to like go into their office, and it's Bobbi Brown's cosmetic line. It's called Jones Road. But yeah, they invited me to like go and like play with makeup and like meet the team. And I was like, it's so weird because I used to like sample and like like I used to work on your
Yeah.
account, which is crazy. But
So right out of school, you went right into this?
actually, yeah, I did. I graduated with communications,
Okay.
which means you don't know what the fuck you want to do with your life. So
Translation.
me, I'm like, I
You're
want to be in
lost.
front of a TV or like a camera. But yeah, I just so happened to get a job right out of college, and I worked as a project manager. Also, I was like an account coordinator then, and I worked actually in the office of a factory that used to make like decorate everything in house, which I thought was really cool because I love to see like product development and stuff like that. So I that was just like random. Like it's not like I wanted that job. I just was right out of college. It sounded fun. And yeah, I did that, and I dabbled in fashion, and then I hated it, and then I went back into packaging.
And so that time you're also living in like living as you are today, same setup, except then after 2020 COVID, you start
Posting. Right.
doing the things.
Doing the things. I actually, before COVID, I genuinely was trying on YouTube. YouTube is just one of those beasts. Like it's really hard to,
Yeah.
You really have to be good at it and consistent. And so I tried a little bit. So I would post like funny makeup tutorials or like, you know, funny clothing hauls and just being myself and like vlogging. I tried all different kinds of things. And obviously got barely any views. So I was always like about it. And then 2020, when everyone, you know, was downloading TikTok, I was one of like those people that was like, I'm too old for the app. Like, meanwhile, now, like, fast forward, I'm like 5 years later. But yeah, I downloaded the app, and then one video just went viral.
So the first video that went viral was
A stupid ass video. It was actually of me and Scott. It was I didn't realize that like prank couples were a thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, and so I just wanted to prank Scott, and I just like posted I just put my phone up and I just laid on the ground, and I just wanted to see what he would do when he walked into the room. And he was too distracted because he was in the kitchen in the other room, and he was like, did you put butter in the microwave? Like, my high ass, like, probably, right? So I'm like, so then I was just confused on the ground, and the whole time we're arguing, and then he finally comes into the room, doesn't even care that I'm on the ground, and he's like, you put butter in the microwave. It like blew up. I had no idea, but it was just like so genuine in us. And it was just, that was the video that blew up. It's always the random
It's always the random shit. Was that like when you had, I guess, the first taste of virality? Did opportunities come right away, or were you just like, fuck, like, let me just keep doing this? Like, let's see what happens.
Not
Especially
right
2020,
away.
TikTok was nuts because like people were growing like crazy.
Oh my
and
God,
like,
yeah.
It was chaos.
It was crazy. I mean, like, right after that, I remember like other social media platforms, like bigger platforms, asking to like post my video and stuff like that, which that was so cool for me. But I was like, this is my fucking opportunity, bitch. Take it and start posting. So I did. And then I remember actually my first ad was with Poshmark, and they paid me like pennies, and I was just like so excited to like do something, and I'm like, wow, you could like really make a career out of this. So that was the start of it. And then, you know, once I met with like agents and managers started reaching out, then it was like official, and I was like posting for money.
When did you finally decide to give up your quote unquote day job?
Yeah, actually, it was 2 years ago in September.
So you were doing content for a couple years before you quit.
Yeah.
Was it because like I had Brand Flakes on.
I
love him. He's
amazing.
He's amazing, and he's also extremely like, I love his approach to. He's very intentional.
He's so smart.
And he's so smart. He like really takes his time to understand the platforms. And he had told me like the way that I saw it was, you know, once I hit X amount of dollars in brand deals, then and it made sense with what I was making at my old job, then I would actually make the turn full time. Was that a situation like that
That's
for you?
exactly what I did. I said if I save my salary
Right.
in my bank account by doing this with ads, then I'll quit my job.
Okay.
And so finally 2 years ago, I did it, and people in the office like kind of already knew. They've
Right.
seen my videos, so they weren't like super surprised. But yeah, it was just crazy leaving. It really is a risk, but
Was there any like weird vibes when you're in a more corporate setting and they see you posting on TikTok and like being goofy or whatever it might be?
I think so. For the longest time, I feel like a lot of people experience that too when they're posting, making content, and also working
Right.
in an environment with, your coworkers. I, for the longest time, was just like so embarrassed. I'm like, I feel like they saw that video and they're just not saying anything. And I would just like feel it in the room.
Right.
But luckily it was like during COVID. So I was working a lot at home. So I didn't feel it as much, but there definitely was some awkwardness. Like I would be on calls with customers, like just a new intro call, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I've seen you." So I'm like, "All right, well, my manager and everyone else is on this call. So if you could just, I'll talk to you on the side." But yeah, I mean, it was cool moments, like thinking back on it now. But yeah, I mean, I felt so awkward sometimes. Like I just knew they were talking about it.
Right.
You know?
Did you? And what was like the I guess schedule of you'd have like your regular quote unquote 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and then content, would you make it a priority like after hours or I guess maybe before?
Yeah.
To like post once a day? Like what was the way that you were kind of like grinding that
Yeah.
side hustle of content at the time?
I remember making a lot of videos actually in my car during lunch. Like when I would be at work, I would just take advantage of that hour and I would just make content in my car. So there's actually a lot of videos in my car, probably around like 2021, 2020-ish. And so I would make time in between. Obviously, I was still doing my job, but I was squeezing it in. And then once you were working from home, it was like
Right.
game
Yeah.
over. Like, any chance I had, in between meetings, I would be taking, making content. But I am the type of person that I just don't like apply that pressure. I'm actually really happy about that I never, even since the beginning, applied so much pressure on like how many times a day I post and like what I'm posting and how consistent. Like in the long run, of course it's good for your brand. Of course it's good for business,
Yeah.
but I just never want it to affect my mental health and just like my personal life. So I never really was strict. So I would just make time whenever I felt inspired. I would just pick up the phone and press record.
But did you feel also there wasn't maybe as much pressure because you knew you had a job, like you had a job? So like you don't even need the brand deal, or is it different now where it's like, well, there is no
Yeah.
backup currently, even though you know that you're growing and there's a lot of
Right.
opportunities. Like it's a different probably mindset.
I'm sure that part of it was that I always knew that I had something to go back on, but really like I post content because I like making people laugh and I like just creating content. I really truly has never really been about views and like money and engagement and growth and stuff like that. Of course that's a bonus and it makes me happy, obviously. But I feel like I still kind of have the same mindset that I did back when I first started to where I am today, which like I think I do apply more pressure on myself now because I really don't be posting as much as I should be, So there is that voice in my head where it's like, all right, girl, like you gotta do something. You gotta post something. My waves of creativity come and go and I give myself grace with that.
Were there ever moments, I guess, pre going full time where you had any doubts and or where you were like, I don't know, maybe because everybody gets hate one way or another, even though I'm sure I know it's overwhelmingly love and positive,
Yeah.
but like any doubts of like, fuck, like, do I really want to be doing this and exposing my life and subjecting myself to criticism and people online?
For sure. I mean, my whole thing was I I started blowing up online mainly when I started focusing on this parody character that I had named Kelsey, who was mocking influencers.
Right.
And so once I was posting brand deals, people were like, you're such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Like, you're making fun of influencers and you are one. You're becoming one. So I always felt like kind of like I would get comments, a lot of comments like that, like just being like, you're a hypocrite. Like, I thought you were one of us, you know?
Yeah.
And now I was getting brand deals and, you know, obviously I was incorporating Kelsey as much as I could, but yeah.
Do you find that when you're creating content, having some kind of like, I guess, a character that you can like build an entire story around, that's the way that you kind of get the creative juices flowing?
Oh, yeah.
And or like even now when you're talking about being in creative ruts, what gets you out of them?
Yeah, I think it's really, I'm at a point right now where I feel like I need to kind of focus on certain things at a time. Right now, I feel like my main focus is like feeling a sense of community, like with my fans. Like I'm hosting like a meet and greet / like golf outing this weekend, and like I feel like I also have a side of me where I'm like, I want to focus on characters, because I remember when I would get inspo all the time, and it was kind of easy to just like think of like, especially like an influencer, I'm like, okay, I'm scrolling all day. Like,
it's also not like, it's not you, so it's so easy to like be like, I don't give a fuck, like it's Kelsey.
Yeah, no, exactly, 100%. So
So who's the
with
next
characters,
character?
oh my God, you know, it's so funny. So we were at Melania and Triplet's wedding, and I was talking to Ravel, who's like another huge inspo and like creator online. And he was like, yo, like you had this one character, her name was Aunt Tammy, and it was like this southern crazy like ball of energy.
Was this recent? I feel like,
honestly, I haven't made a video about her in so long, but she's one character that I feel like I need to bring back, because I remember having so much fun making those videos. So I think I'm going to focus on, again, I was focusing on like community right now, but the next chapter I think is really just like honing in on what I'm good at, which is like doing these silly characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Auntie Tammy is next up.
because you know what I've noticed, like even with Serena, like I think for people that are like you and her that are so creative and you have unique content, like once you guys are motivated and like are flowing and enjoying, I think the enjoying part is usually when you also see a positive correlation. Like you guys could just rattle off for days.
Yeah.
You can make 20 videos.
That's exactly what it is. That's why it just like, it comes and goes. To get myself out of it, answering the other part of your last question, I really don't have like a system in place. It's just like exactly how you explained it. Like once you post, and of course like the views and the engagement, like all of that is just like reassurance that like it's funny and you're doing a good job or whatever. That is kind of like a huge motivator to just continue to post. But yeah, like getting myself out of that, I don't really have like a specific technique.
Have you ever felt like this content creation has affected you negatively?
I think that there's a big question about, or just a big topic about content creating and like building a brand and like finding your niche, which is something that I just never aligned with. And I just feel like for me, I never want to box myself in. And I think that that's like a negative and both a positive thing, because I want to stay authentic to who I am and like also create whatever the fuck I want, you know? I never want to box myself in. So I don't know if that answers.
Well, I think also, yeah, because, and I'm sure everybody around you knows this as well and thinks this as well, but like you're wildly talented in terms of like the range, I think, of like who you can hit, like from, the parody to Aunt Tammy if she's coming back and whoever else. And I feel like that only can work to your advantage.
I know. It's just like that's my mindset on it, honestly. That's why I never like to box myself in. But I feel like the trick to growing online, if that's your priority, is finding a niche and like really sitting in there and like just like finding that community that's going to continue to go back and watch your videos.
Right.
Like, I think that that's important, but for me, I am just not that type of person. I'm like, I just don't want to box myself in and like limit myself. I feel like I know what I can do and I'm capable of a lot more than just one parody
Right.
influencer character, you know?
Do you ever have fears, or how do you view like the longevity of this social media and content world? Because, you know, Serena and I talk about it all the time, where it's literally like there's going to be a new next it girl influencer at some point.
Right.
And I would actually argue that like you and her have brands with longevity, and like there's different ways to diversify. But,
Yeah.
you know, it is ultimate, like it is kind of a scary proposition, I think, for a lot of content creators. That's what I'm curious about for you, where it's like, you know, in a couple of years, I started seeing those TikToks of like, went back to my corporate job because I couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
And it's like it's such a new industry. Like nobody fucking knows what's going to happen. Do
no
you
one
think
knows.
about that, or do you think
Yeah.
about how you can maintain longevity, and what's worked for you in that regard? Because you've been doing it 4 years, I guess 2 years full time.
Yeah.
How do you approach it?
I think about it all the time. I really am, my dream really is to be an actress.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've always felt like I'm just called to do
10-year-old
that.
Erika.
Like 10-year-old Erika, like gotta have her back. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just got back from acting class now. I'm just like using this time right now that things are good online and I can like make money doing it full time, but also focusing on the next step and the next goal, which for me is auditions and booking something, hopefully. Call me. And yeah, so but it's definitely a risk. And honestly, I admire Serena because we talk about it too. And she's built this huge business too, which is another stream of income for her, which is so smart, you know, which a lot of people should take advantage of if they have a platform, for sure. I'm just like not a business person. I feel like I'm just like very artsy fartsy. Like I just want to act, like just tell me what to say, tell me what to do. Like eventually I'll get into writing and stuff like that. But for me, that's the next step. So right now I'm just like kind of taking advantage of this time now, saving money, making sure all my ducks are in a row, and then focusing on that next chapter. But it's definitely something every creator thinks about, for sure.
Do you think that you would want to be heavily engulfed in the acting world while simultaneously doing the content stuff?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
would you rather like just be...
I mean, it would be silly not to, because I mean, there's like an ongoing joke, like in school and in any acting school, I'm sure it's like, what do you want to be? An actor? Okay, but what are you going to do for money?
Right,
like, you
right.
know, because it's rough out here,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And I think any actor that's not taking advantage of like an audience that they have too online is being silly.
Well, I guess how do you think about converting your followers into then also, you know, viewers of whatever you're in acting wise? Or is it like the same process? Like, do you have the same approach when you're gonna be in a movie, a lot of movies, lots and lots,
Yeah, lots and lots.
Do you think that because you have the audience, it'll just be fairly easy and the same process?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would convert and translate to that. I think a lot of people, it just depends on like age, and like a lot of people would just prefer to be on their phones. Not everyone has a streaming service, like, you know, so they can't like watch the show on like. The way I picture it is I will just find a new audience on there too that I can bring along with me, and hopefully my fans will watch me online on TV. I'm sure there will be some fraction of people that will, but I don't necessarily think that it will be seamless or 100%.
Within the acting world, people take you more, or what maybe you already have experience, or in the future will take you more or less seriously because of the influencer content angle. Do you think it works for you or against you?
So I actually have this whole thing on that. I see it both ways. So for me, I've been invited to like many red carpet events and premieres and whatever, all types of things. And I just, I don't know if it's like the Leo in me or whatever, but I'm just like, I'm not going to walk the carpet as an influencer. Like I refuse. Like I've never walked a carpet. Like it's just a thing that I want to do for myself and just like prove to myself that I can walk it as an actor and not an influencer, because I do feel that you kind of are boxed in. And whoever does that, like honestly, like more power to you. Like I love that for you. For me though, I just have a different approach to that, because I never want to be in the room with actors or, you know, Hollywood, you know, and be looked at as an influencer before being looked at as a serious actor. And then the other side of that is, of course, it's an advantage to have, you know, a following and a platform, because of course, yes, to one extent, there will be viewership with that. But, you know, so I just want to put my work in, which is why I'm going to acting classes. Like, I think it's easy to kind of skip the line a little bit if you do have a following. And I just want to make sure that I put the work in myself, aside from also having those benefits and advantages of having a social media platform.
What do you, I guess in your first interactions with the industry, does it kind of agree with you in that sense of like it opens up doors?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've heard of many people that are comedians online that will book things because of their following, or have been found online by casting, you know, directors and casting people. So, I mean, it is an advantage for sure, but
I agree. You're more like, I think even the title of comedian is like better suited.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, comedian can mean a lot of things. Comedian can mean like...
I know. You know, it's so funny because anytime anyone asks me like comedian, I'm like, they're like, well, do you do stand-up? I'm like, no. No, because I'm scared. And I have stage fright, but I'm working on it. But yeah, there are multiple meanings to being a comedian. I always just throw in content creator there because I'm just honestly scared that someone's going to ask me if I do stand-up. Scott always pushes me. He's like, you're a comedian. You say you're a comedian.
Where's the stage fright come from?
I'm sure like rejection and not knowing what to do if I like blank up there, which I know that if I were to do my own show, like my own hour special or whatever, and all the audience will be my followers for the most part. So I feel like that would calm the nerves down more. But yeah, it's just like choking up there that I'm scared of. But I feel like I could play it off in a funny way. It's just something that I've always, like, I've put myself in those situations, like talent shows or whatever, a cappella, dance team. Like, I've put myself in those situations, but I just have never been able to navigate the nerves. But I think a lot of it is experience and just putting yourself out there, which is something I'm trying to do more of. I think I'm learning a lot of that in acting class.
Are you afraid of the rejection? Like that people would laugh at you, that people would judge you?
Well, I want people to laugh at me. At me or with me. It doesn't matter. No one's going to know.
As long as they laugh.
Yeah. I mean, there's always that, you know, just like feeling like you look like a dumbass, you know, or not funny enough. But I know that I'm capable of it. It's just pushing myself out of my comfort zone and just really just fucking doing it. Like, you're not going to know until you put yourself out there and do it. Yeah. So, yeah.
What do the nerves feel like for you? Because I think it's different for everyone.
For me, it feels like I'm going to die. No, I just feel like I get really, my vocal cords get very dry, shaky. I'll have a shaky voice. Like I've always heard that, even like in class, like in school, just presenting something or like speaking out loud. Like I remember that feeling of just like, if I'm gonna be next to Reed, like practice your fucking lines. Like, you know, me trying to be an actor. Like, bitch, it's a chapter in a book. Like, relax. But yeah, it really, for the most part, for me, is like a vocal thing. So I feel like everyone can hear that I'm nervous, which makes me more nervous.
But you don't have you don't have this when you're in front of a camera. It's more in front of an actual audience.
No, yeah. I would say if it's in front of like a live audience, for sure. freaks me out a little bit. Yeah.
How do you also, you talked earlier about, kind of more or less boundaries that maybe from social to personal. Where do you see the boundaries? And as you kind of, progress in life, if you guys so choose to have a family and all of that, do you see boundaries of personal life, public life?
Yeah.
And then, how, because sometimes it helps. Like there's always the debate on like, do you bring kids into the content?
Yeah. I mean, Scott and I talk about that all the time. Like, back of the head, you know what I mean? Like back of the head, like little blurry face, you know what I mean? I think eventually, like maybe it's just there's like the topic with kids is just like there's just a lot of creeps out there. So like that's the biggest reasoning I think behind it. But I think I'm not like 100% opposed to it. I think I'll just have to see how I feel like when that next chapter happens. But I think I've done a good job at separating like my personal life. Like I don't share as much online, like personal. Like there's people that will like post on their stories like day to day, like what they're doing every day. And for me, I just like have so much respect and I like honor my privacy a lot. That way no one can really get to me. Like I always just have that, like if anyone can say anything online, it's based off of the funny videos that I've posted. It's not based on you like really knowing every single thing that I do every day. Of course, I've shared a lot and I try and do so like every now and then. I want to connect with my audience 100%, but I also think of like, I don't really even want to be famous. Like I just want to make people laugh. Like I always think of like Mike Myers. Like no one knows where the fuck he is, but he's a legend. He's made millions, billions of people laugh. Like, and no one knows what he's doing in life. Like that's really the ultimate goal for me. Like I really don't, the goal isn't for me to be famous and known. Like of course that's like a perk, but like I'd rather just focus on like the art aspect of creating.
Do you like the idea, or do you like being known, or?
Yeah, of course. Like it's the biggest compliment ever when someone knows me. I mean, it makes my entire day. Like when I meet people that like I've made smile like in person and they've, they want a picture, they like tell me how funny I am. That's like a huge, huge plus. But I think that there's just like a line when people like just start acting like they know you, which has happened a couple of times. And it's just uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable because you feel like you know the person. I've even felt this with a lot of creators too. I'm like, did we meet? Because I feel like I know you, but it's because online, So yeah, there's just like this fine line with that. So I just try and keep my private life as private as possible while also sharing like the fun moments and things that I want to share openly like with my audience. But I'm not necessarily like the biggest like open book, like telling you every single cent, because that's when people feel like they can say whatever the fuck they want about you. And I will throw hands. I will. I can't. I try and avoid it as much as possible.
Even through that, is there something that you wish people did know about you?
I think...
Or understood about you that maybe is hard to gauge from what you put out?
Interesting. I mean, I've been open about how important my family is to me. I really am like a giver. I just love to just make other people happy and share my time with others. Like, so I really, really prioritize that. Like if I'm not planning like my own birthday, I'm planning someone else's birthday. I'm planning someone else's bachelorette. I'm planning someone's like anything, like a trip or whatever, just to make people like happy. So yeah, I feel like I don't like share that a lot. They know I prioritize family. It's important, but I guess not to that extent that I'm just like focus a lot of my time on making other people around me that are close to me happy and spending time with them and doing stuff for them. It's an act of service.
Before we bring Scotty on in a second, I'm curious, what has your guys' relationship done for, I mean, and you guys have been together for a while, your own personal growth, I guess, and then also, having a partner that supports you through going from a corporate life to this, which is technically higher risk. And how has your relationship evolved through the years and through your own personal development?
I think that Scott has been the number one supporter. I'm going to get my period soon, so if I cry, this is the first time I'm not gonna, there he is. But Scott has been the biggest supporter, and it's just I think opened up a different chapter or a different part or side of our relationship where it's unconditional, and he's there for everything. And if you're not believing in yourself, he's believing in me, I'm believing in him. And I think that having this platform has just showed us how much we're capable of. And so reminding each other every day how successful we are and how successful we can be, and what we're capable of and what we can accomplish, it's just been really beautiful. Of course you have those aspects, and he was always very supportive of my college and my corporate life, but I think when it's something you're really passionate about, it changes everything. And yeah, so it's definitely made us stronger. And then a plus side is being able to make content with him, and having people come up to me and look for Scott, or they're I heard Scott's laugh, so I knew Erika's here, and just having people associate each of us with each other is a beautiful thing too.
All right, let's bring him on. Scotty joined us.
It's so nice to meet you. How you doing?
Yo, fuck this guy. Get out of here. I was literally just saying how beautiful of a couple you are.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
He's always got the jokes, this guy.
Always.
Actually, what we were talking about before, right before we had our little intermission, you have the perfect partner for all the funny stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I like this already.
He actually didn't want to come on, and now he's loving it.
No, he's psyched me up.
Yeah, you're right. I think about that all the time. No shade to anyone, but sometimes I'm just one of you guys is good on the camera. But Scott's funny. I'm funnier,
Just have a
but
good
he's
laugh.
funny.
That's the thing.
You actually have an excellent
The
laugh.
laugh
I
is what
love
gets it.
his laugh. It's
very
one
contagious.
of my favorite things.
It's more the laugh.
So, I heard about this place called Blue Ale Bar.
Blue Ale House.
Fuck.
You were right on. You were on.
I was
Oh my
close.
God.
It is a bar.
Wait, did we
It's a
tell you
bar.
that?
November 22nd.
Yep.
Wait,
that's
oh,
it.
he's.
Would you like me to tell you when you first met your husband? It was November 22nd, 2014.
That's exactly
Oh my
I come prepared.
Yeah.
I'm holy
tagged
shit.
it.
he's
She's like,
really on
wait.
it.
She's tagged in that post too. That's the crazy thing.
Wait, so rumor has it. Well, who hit on who first?
Well,
I
Definitely
heard
not.
Scott was a thought and a little bit of a dog before.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Wow,
know.
he's
Well,
lost at a
he-
loss
heard
for
it.
words.
I wouldn't know why he
he
heard that.
he hit me up on Facebook. He
Yeah.
did.
I heard big poker.
So,
Yeah.
I heard about
It was
that.
years
big
coming.
poker.
But I heard he
Years
did it
coming.
when he had a.
When a girl in his
shorty.
profile picture.
Supposedly though,
Scott, I have it. I
what if
know
we were on a
exactly
break and
how
I
you
didn't
were
change the
sitting.
Profile picture.
I know exactly what
Nah,
you're saying.
I didn't. We were broken up.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Okay.
A lot has changed. A lot.
Yeah, we had better.
Yeah,
better
well, you're
thing-
married, so
A
yeah.
lot of this. A lot of this.
I hope that
I'll
it
tell you that much.
changed.
Yeah, he was a little rascal when I first met him. I forced him to be my boyfriend.
He's really happy to.
Am I lying? You
That
were
is the
an
truth. That's the
asshole.
truth.
You were a little
That's the
jerk, but it was,
It was just. It was a. It was a label. That's the thing.
What do you mean it was a label?
It was more of a
wanting to be a
label
boyfriend.
than what we were. We were already boyfriend girlfriend from the first night.
Okay.
At Blue Ale.
This
At
is
Blue Ale
giving a
Bar.
little bit of toxic
Yeah.
Why
gaslighting
she brought it there?
vibes.
Why she bring it there? That's
No,
crazy.
no.
That's crazy. I was just we were at Blue Ale House and then she's like, I'm cheating on my girlfriend.
Well, he said
Crazy.
you were a little bit of a dog,
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know where that came
But-
from. I think
Who told you that?
I think we should be looking over here. I think he started this whole thing. He troubled. We knew what we were. And he came.
He's ruining it.
Damn.
We're gonna get into a fight the whole ride home. Thank you.
So I made the first move. I walked up. I actually asked another person who knew Erika. I was like, "Is that Erika?"
Oh, you had heard about this Erika.
Well,
Yeah, because the pokes were
persona.
happening years later.
Pokes were years.
Then we finally saw each
6
other.
years before. And then that was it. From that moment.
Wait, so what was the line? Like,
like, there
let
was
me
no-
drop.
yes,
let
there
me
was,
let me see you
Scott.
spit some
Line.
games.
Yes, there was.
She says
Here,
there was a
guys,
particular
reenact. Go
line.
ahead, acting.
Okay.
She was
ready?
a particular line. We were talking.
It's my turn. No, what happened was that I was 21 and I only had $20. And it could only afford me one LIT. And so I got an LIT and I was like, I'll just have a guy like get me another drink. Like
Smart. Classic.
typical, right?
She put the
This
line
guy
on.
looks
That's
like
what
he's
it
got
was.
more
That's
money.
what it was.
But
She put the line on.
you know, it was a little dry. Like during the, you know, it was the first half of the night was a little dry. So I was babysitting like this LIT for hours, like to the point where it was just like melted ice on the bottom. And so
Diluted
that was
LIT.
your line.
That's what she says was the line.
That was.
No, I believe you. I 100%. agree
You know
with
exactly what it
But we were conversating for a little while, and then she says her like favorite line was, I was like, "Are you like?" Because we had to be talking.
Yeah,
for at
show me
least
the
20 to
spit
30
some
minutes.
game.
20 to 30 minutes.
That's
And we
too
were
long.
like, you
It's
know,
5
like
minutes.
joking, like laughing. I was like, she was like just like sipping on the ice, and I was like, "Are you good? Like, do you need a ride home? Like."
He's like, do you need a
Is there
place to
public
stay? I'm
transportation?
like,
Is your rent due? Like joking around. I was like, I could get you a drink. Like you don't have to just drink the ice the whole time.
I was like,
And that
bingo, there's my second
and that was
drink.
it. But
Yeah.
come to find out, it was a whole plan.
Oh, so
Of
you,
course. Scott, come on. Every girl gets you.
I know. I know.
It's typical.
wait, so then, right in that moment, so the vibes are high. After he bought you the drink, thank goodness.
Yes.
And it's like, are we like making out? Like, what's the vibe?
No.
Like,
No.
no, oh no, sorry. Whoa,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
for-
One
I'm
thing
not
about us.
slut.
One thing about us people, PDA. We're not real big
Oh, we're
on
not PDA people.
Honestly, see,
We just
I fall in this category.
Okay.
Honestly, there's
of not
Yeah, like-
or doing it.
well, you're French, right?
I'm
so
no, but but me and Serena talk about this all the time because, you know, of course, like I always want to make sure that she knows that I'm proud to be her boyfriend. But
course.
but then sometimes I'm also like, oh, it's like we don't have to like kiss. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so you guys didn't kiss in front of everyone. You guys went out.
no,
to the
no. We actually
car?
didn't even kiss at all that night.
Yeah, it was like a very.
We didn't kiss at all.
Yeah.
We actually went out, both of us, with a friend each. So
Yeah.
we were like, perfect, like let's introduce them, whatever. Even though I already
they
knew
into
his
each other or
friends.
not?
No. I don't think so. He was probably into-
Your friend had a boyfriend at the time.
Yeah. So whatever. She was taking one for the team. It
All
wasn't
I know
sexual.
is I paid for everyone at the diner.
Yeah. Okay. you will not let
paid
that
for
go. It was like
everything.
$38 probably.
Bro,
A lot of
it's fine.
A lot of
We'll pay you
pancakes
back.
and
It's
disco,
alright.
and disco fries.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a Jersey thing.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, that night actually we were all he drove, right? And I tried to put my number in his phone.
Oh.
And so I took his phone, like trying to be like so slick. And his phone was connected to the speaker, obviously. And I tried to call myself. And both of our friends were just in the back seat, like, what? Like loud ass ring, like too, because we were blasting music, like so embarrassing. And then you just dropped me and my friend off, and then we just
I
like
think I
hugged,
got
and
out.
I was
I think
like,
we hugged.
text
I
me.
think we hugged. I think we were very PG.
Yeah, we were very PG
Wait,
the first time.
kind of obsessed though with the let me put my number in your phone.
Yeah.
See,
Great move.
I think. Well, we can talk about this after. But you showed the interest, or I guess, and you
course.
gave him like a little line to pick up on, or a little
Yeah.
lifeline, and he took it.
Yes, he did.
100%. 100%.
And I think there's too many games these days of
There's
like
too many games.
Oh
I'm
my
all
god, like
for
do I-
make the move. Like
For
if that's
sure.
how you feel, just do it. Just don't look
sure.
pathetic. You know what I mean?
like don't have the Bluetooth
Yeah.
like go off completely.
Yeah. Like don't like text twice. You know what I mean? But
Don't be,
like make the
pulling at
fucking first
phone.
move. Who
You
cares?
Take the phone, let him. If he wants you to, don't be pulling at the phone. Call.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Don't do
too
There's
much.
a line. There's a line. For
Wait,
sure.
so
Phone's there.
that you hit Erika up after?
Yeah, I think it was like
Hey, it
instant
was-
text. Yeah, instant text. I'm telling you, since that night, it was like a.
And
Then
so
we were
um,
talking.
That's
every
why the
day.
label was like such a big deal. That's why we had to set the background. But that's why the label was such a big deal. I was like, I talked to another girl the whole time. Like after that, you know, like from that moment.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Damn, you brought him off the streets.
I did.
'Cause-
She did. She changed
did.
me completely.
I really did.
Completely.
I take pride in that.
I always say that.
Because he's perfect now.
I tell her all the time. People.
Wait, so then when did you guys like? When was your first kiss?
Oh, it was in your friend's driveway. Remember? I came. Why did I come over there? Just to like say hi, like in my
Yeah,
car?
I think so.
I was like, "Where are you?" Because we were like surrounding towns.
like,
You know,
"I'm
like
out."
I used to live
it was
like a
close.
town over from like where he went to school and all his friends were. And we were texting, and he was like, "Oh, like I want to see you probably." And then I was like, "Well, I'll come." And we were in the driveway, and I think we kissed in like while I was still in my car. Like that's so
passenger.
awkward.
I mean, in the driver's seat. And then,
That is so
funny
awkward.
story. It's like a crazy. It was a very long driveway, and there was woods on each side, but it was very narrow. She was like, "All right, I'll see you later," and couldn't back out of the driveway. Like, she
so
was like,
long.
"All right, I'll see you later." And then eventually, I was like, "Should I do it?" Like,
Did you do it for
I
me? You
did.
did.
And then she got
So
out.
how
I did it.
embarrassing.
So this was
I think it's
after
because she
our
wanted
first
an
kiss.
extra kiss. Because I'm sure
think
you gave
you
her an
did,
extra
too.
one.
You
I'm
did.
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Chestnut
That shit was
checkers.
mad embarrassing.
Ooh,
I was like,
can't get out.
all right, text me. Imagine, like, and then I'm like,
I can't get out.
There was like trees all around.
Damn.
it was funny.
That is it. That was our first kiss.
Oh my god, I forgot about that backing up part.
So then, when did you? I guess you always thought with the label thing that y'all were dating.
good.
When did you put a gun to his head and tell him
Oh,
you're my
like-
boyfriend?
Yeah.
3 days later?
Yeah, basically,
Right.
basically.
Honestly, it was probably like, Scott, okay, like you have like this joke that it was like right away. Like I really think at least I waited like a month.
Well, this is with saying I love you.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, this is what we always talk about. Is you? I say you said I love you very quickly. This is you. You brought this up.
How embarrassing is
That's
this?
what it is. And then
Actually,
she said, I
it's
love
not.
You way
Like,
before.
look at where, like,
Yeah,
We've been together 10
Fully
years
fucking
and
married,
married.
like-
we both knew. I was just fighting it.
yeah, you were.
I know.
Why?
Yeah, but because he was an asshole.
I don't know
I'm
why
telling
being
you.
bullied out
Wait, did
here.
you want? Did you have like some complex? I feel like this is therapy. Did you want some
It
complex?
feels like
So what's
it.
wrong with you guys? Wait, so did you have some complex about wanting to like change this man?
No, honestly, like it didn't start like that. It was just we had a very toxic stage. We did after like year one. We
This is
did.
developing so
But like but on both
I'm
parties,
obsessed.
like on
Yeah.
both.
Tell me more.
I'm sad. I actually have a notepad. Yeah, it was like on both parts. Like we were just young, you know.
Yeah, I was very immature, mentally very
Yeah.
immature, and that's what it was. I think you were mentally immature as well.
Of course.
Maybe I was.
I mean, you guys are like what, 21, 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So yeah, and what was the question again?
What-
Yeah, now I'm lost. Now I'm
Well,
lost.
I'm curious.
Now we're really
She
gonna
said
fight.
I love you first. Yep, that was it. That was it.
That's what it was. Yeah, and then your father.
Well,
told
I'm
you.
curious. We don't even need the details, but like, when do you think that it turned from getting out of the toxic stage to like, and what did you guys learn about that made you both mature into like, you know what, we're together and we're good now.
Take it away.
So we had that first year where I feel like we barely got into and we were skipping into the toxic. But we were toxic. We took a break. That was the needed thing.
I am a firm believer in like take a break.
Said,
yeah.
like it was going back and forth. I was like, I don't like I can't do this. Then she would be like plead, like, you know, like trying to plead back. Then it would be the same thing with me. I'd be pleading back. She would be like, I can't do this. So then we took that break.
Were you
We
guys
took
just
a
not
month.
ready to be in a relationship?
I think it was.
He wasn't ready. I was
Yeah,
ready.
I do think it was me.
I was ready. Yeah, and then we took
then it just
actually
gets into a
one
vicious
exact
cycle.
month
Yeah, we
off.
took 1
Like we
month
took a
break.
break.
No contact, no speaking.
I
It was
mean,
like a couple
yeah.
weeks before that where we were like really not like good. Like 2 weeks probably where we were like just back and forth. Like we don't know if we could do this. And then we were like set on we have to take a break. Like,
Yeah.
And if we do really love each other, like everything will work.
Yeah.
Time apart. That's what it is.
I honestly though, when we took a break, I really had no intention of getting back with you. Like I was like, we're broken up. Like, no, it's true. But then he, you know, you were doing like giving a lot of effort,
Oh, of course.
like towards like the end of that month stretch. But he was like,
Yeah, we had some
just
time
trying
off. We both,
more.
like, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, it was like
time
he
and
was
that's it.
really proving to me that he's gonna change and like, and all that stuff.
No,
I
that's
love
true.
you.
It was true. That I say that every time is after that break, I told myself it's like either I change mentally, mature, and put my full put everything I have into this relationship, really, or it's what am I doing it for?
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm just like messing around and that's it, or am I gonna like try to fix this and make it better? And that's what it was. And it was really just me changing.
Right, that was perfect.
Erica has not changed at all. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
You don't have to change.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
And then you guys happily ever after. Here we are.
Here we are, 10
Honestly.
years later.
Well, how do you guys manage, like, you know, evolving and growing together? Because you now have seen each other both in different stages in life. And how do you think that the relationship has always been, and I'm sure it has, the top priority amongst the different jobs and life cycles?
That was a lengthy one.
You want to repeat it?
Yes, please repeat the question.
Shit, I don't even remember it. Have you guys evolved together through all of the different stages of life and always made sure that the relationship was a top priority?
Yeah, I think honestly, like a big thing for me, I always give my girlfriends the same advice. I'm like, don't always like tell everyone everything that's happening in your relationship, because I feel like a lot of other people's opinions and stuff can, you know, like hinder, is that the word?
Yeah.
Or affect, I guess, your position in your relationship and what the next steps are. So I feel like we always made it a point to keep a lot of things like between us and like deal with it ourselves. So I feel like that was always like a huge advantage.
Respecting each
like-
other's opinions.
And and our privacy too.
Exactly. But honestly, just being best friends. That is really what it comes down to. Is like we just always want to see each other succeed and see each other better, and like, and every time we're away from each other, it's like we can't wait to get back to each other.
Yeah.
It honestly is. It sounds so corny. It sounds like everything, but it's just like she's like just like the best friend I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it'd be the same thing. It'd be like the same thing. Obviously, we didn't grow up from when we were little, but like 10 years is
It's still a
third of
lot.
my life. A
Yeah.
third of her
It's a long
life at this
time.
point. You know, it feels like we did. Like we'll say now, if we ever go to like Universal, it feels like we're like dating, like when we were younger, but we just have like adult money and we could just like go on rides. But it's just being best friends, and
That's always first.
you just always want to see your best friend succeed.
And 10 years is a long time.
100%.
And
Yeah,
that's-
especially your 20s too. I feel like a lot of changes happen in those years. And yeah, they're just like important years, and to have a consistent, always like a best friend through all of it, just really made us stronger. And
Yeah, just seeing like the growth is the number one thing. Is
How do you guys communicate through conflict?
exactly that, communicating.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the number one thing. There's a lot of people, a lot of couples that are scared to just say their feelings. Erica is actually the complete opposite.
Actually, she should shut.
Actually,
Erica,
Erica loves it. No, I'm just joking. But honestly, if there's
you get all of it, because I really am not like that with
yeah, but that's
everyone.
once again, it's like we're so comfortable with each other that there's times where you'll take something small out on the person that you're so comfortable with, and that's just a normal thing. So you don't have to put yourself up over there. Jeez, I brought it to a fucking smooth ass moment. But no, the question that we were on is who the fuck knows, right? Jeez.
We communicate. How do we?
Communicating.
It really is that.
You have to
Just
express
talking
your
about
problems. If there's
everything
something
and
that-
talk about all of it too.
Yeah, all
Don't
of
like
it.
leave parts out. I feel like we'll have those conversations where we're like, all right, if we're gonna like talk about this, we're gonna talk about all of it and go fully in it, and then and then from there there's no like bad, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like you don't hold any grudges or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're
I don't
also
know how,
not
like, I'm
thinking about things, like addressing it directly, and not say you don't address it directly and really get out all your emotions. You can think something that's really not happening,
Right.
And then
Right.
unless you give your partner that chance to explain it, where they're like, that's not it at all, you know? And then you could see it and you're like, I was just overreacting for that, you know?
Yeah. We're also like, we're still working on it too. Like, I feel like we're not perfect, you know, like there still have been like fights where I'm like, I really wish I shut the fuck up like sooner, or like didn't escalate something, or like, you know, like we're still working on it. I think it's just always respecting each other at the end of all of it. And I think that's how we always like just come back to like reality and just like solving whatever it is that's bothering us. Just respecting each other.
What, because we talked about maybe eventual family, like what kind of parents do you guys think each of you will be?
Scott is going to be great dad.
Oh my God. Both of you are going to be
Oh my God. Well, you know, like Scott,
oh my God, he's so
he
fun.
is just like, all the kids love him. Like, I'll be out to dinner with him and Scott's like, not even paying attention to me. And he, like, you're like Santa Claus. I swear. That's exactly how it is.
I'll be looking at a menu. Like, I'll be looking at a menu. I'll just like look over, and the kid fully turned around in his chair. I'm like, hey, man, like, I can't grant you no wishes. You know? Like, it's just so much.
You really are.
Be like, don't look at him. Because, you know, I'll be like,
the whole time then he feels obligated. He's like, you're good, you're eating good.
I'll be like this, like, and then the kid just won't stop. I'm like, oh my God.
But he's just really good with kids. And I feel like I have always had a lot of kids in our, like in my side of the family. Now each of our siblings, our only siblings, had their first kids. So it's been so nice to like be an aunt and an uncle, and just like, I feel like it puts things more into reality. Like once it's like your sibling having a kid and you're like, oh, I really, really care about this kid, you know? So I try and picture myself just being like, I don't know. I want to say like a cool mom, but I also feel like I think I'm gonna be super relaxed.
It's gonna be so fun.
Because my parents like raised me. They're like very
I'll
chill.
take full advantage. I'm gonna be a kid again.
Yeah, he is. He is 100%. It's gonna be like, ask your mom. 100%. Like he's gonna be like, yeah, whatever you want. Like ask your mom.
Like, sure, let's go. We can go right now.
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
I don't care.
100%.
That's what I want. I want like
That's how
I was raised. Is my mom was a like. She was the ultimate power. So it was like I always had a fear of my mom, like cops, everything, teachers, none of that. Obviously, I had a fear because of the end result was like I had to go home to my mom.
Yeah.
But that's how I would want it. Is I want my wife, I want Erika to be like that ultimate power, or in and then like
my family's like that too.
Be like the. Oh, but you could like tell me, but really it's my kid. Like I want him to tell me. Right. Like I want them to always be like able to confide in me, but I trick them into it. You know, it's like they have someone where they fear and they have those morals because of it. And then they have someone who like obviously they can confide in, but like
damn, make me sound like the Hulk.
No. That's not what I mean.
You're disciplinary.
Don't talk to the monster over there.
No,
become the dad.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
I know what you mean though, because my mom is like that too. Like with my dad, it was always like that. Like the mom, like your mom, exactly, is just like they're the ones that hold it down for the house, and I feel like that's how I'm gonna be too.
And it's like you're tricking your own kid to like tell one of their parents everything, and then obviously what do you think, I'm holding the information? Like, no, I'm going to tell her. I'm like, don't ruin it for both of us. Like I can't like but that's how I would.
I think we'll be very good parents.
Do you feel like your siblings having kids puts more like in a perspective that it's like, or a pressure that it's sooner than
I think it took it off. I think it really.
Oh, really? For your mom, yeah. My mom's like, next.
That pressure is never being taken off. But
she just wants me to have a kid.
I do think she having a kid to hold, she's a little bit better than she was for sure. Because at one point it was like everybody was asking. Yeah,
that is true. Of course, like these nephews really came in clutch for sure. They're like a little buffer in between. They're also our older siblings too, and so it makes it really did make sense. So, but yeah, the pressure is still there. My mom is never gonna stop like bringing it up, even though she's like very respectful. Because for the longest time, I was going back and forth about whether or not I did want kids. But I've just recently I mean it might change. Who knows? But as of right now, I do want kids. Mm-hmm. Like I just, I think I'll feel very fulfilled if I have children. But, I forgot where I was going with that. But
Was it a buffer? I think you answered it.
Yeah, maybe.
It is a good little buffer, a little distraction.
Yeah.
You could also get the dog too.
Nephews.
That's,
Oh my god.
Stop.
Stop.
Because the way that I've been talking to Scott about this,
We were just in Target. We walked by the aisle and she
I'm like, see, if we had a doggy, I would get all these
stopped.
things. for the
Turned
dog.
around. She's like, I would love to be in this aisle with my dog. But I was like, okay, well.
Well, I can't wait for us to get ours so it can
I
add an additional pressure to you guys
exactly,
to get one.
Exactly.
That's
No, a dog is a great
It's a-
first step
of-
for us,
of
especially.
course.
I'm like, let's just get an animal. Like, we
Yeah.
need to care for something and like make it complicate our lives and like see how it goes, because I feel like then it's gonna be like night and day when we
I
choose
agree.
to have. No, now you're saying that. Actually, it's on record. He agrees, and we're gonna get a dog.
I've always wanted
Great.
a dog. I always wanted a dog when we can.
It'll come.
It will come. You got to get yours first, and then we'll like.
Yeah, you
join
gotta
it.
go first.
we're
You go
not
first,
gonna, we're not gonna take anything like off of your dog. Like, oh,
We don't
man,
wanna,
we
like,
gotta at least
outshine you
wait
guys,
A year,
like,
get
yeah.
out there, gotta grow up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be mad cute. It would be like cousins.
I know.
And Chick Little Millennials winter. Hopefully, it doesn't like eat
Winter.
ours.
Oh,
'cause
no,
that shit is
Winter.
big.
Winter's
So cute.
a good guy, good girl. Sorry.
Good girl.
I want to highlight the brand you're building,
I appreciate that.
and will you give a little bit of context? Because sometimes you're shy about it, and I'm gonna be on your ass as to
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're
You are,
building.
you are
we
always
have
on
we have one
Oh,
design,
yes. Yes, I am.
wifey repping.
Always.
Always.
Tell me a little bit more
So
than what I already know, but I want people to know.
Gotcha. So I've started curating basically a brand since like I would say 2016 technically. It's gone by a couple different names, but just most recently I've switched it into a like upscale streetwear on a higher designer aspect. It's called Ondulato.
ONDULATO.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Just gotta make sure people know.
Spot on.
True.
You won that spelling bee for sure. Ondulato
No.
for sure. It means motion of wave or wavy in Italian is the direct translation.
Sick.
But yeah, I've just been having fun with it. Getting a couple pieces out. I need to do more, promote it more. But yeah,
Well, this is a good first step.
yeah, for sure.
What do you think holds you back from wanting to promote it more? Just feeling like it's ready?
Being
or?
in my head. I actually was having a great conversation with a person who has a fellow brand. And he asked are you just doing it by yourself? And I was like, yeah, it's just like all me,
Yeah.
you know? And he's like, what helped me was having someone else to like get me out of my own head.
Like almost like what you know you're good at, and
Not
and
second-guess
give.
it. It's so
and-
much easier to
Yeah, and if
second-guess
somebody else
yourself.
is better at the promotion and the
Yeah.
marketing and talking about it,
Yep.
is that something you're gonna do? Maybe.
You're also a perfectionist.
Yeah. Really, I took that as because obviously you have to find the perfect person to connect with.
Yeah.
So like his business partner, I'm sure is like a unbelievable fit. Their meaning is super powerful, but just at least hearing it from being like, just get out of your head.
Yeah.
You know, that was a huge aspect. But I would love if I ever found a team
Yeah.
or like started looking for a team, I would love to get a team together, of course, at one point. Because yeah, I feel like it would be someone just saying like, yeah, give the green light, like, yeah, don't even trip, like,
Yeah.
don't think about it again.
What have you learned from? I'm sure you have, but what have you learned from Erika in terms of like the audience and like brand building? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
a different type of
100%.
brand, right? That maybe once we push his ass to promote
Yes.
more, that you think you would work well with Ondulato.
So many things. She's been so good at from the start, like from the initial push to just never stop, never quit.
Yeah.
You know, she will, the consistency, of course, the believing in yourself.
Yeah, not
That's the
giving a
number
fuck
one
what
thing.
people are gonna say.
Yeah, not caring,
you know?
not getting in your head, you know, and just being like, I'm doing it either way. Engagement in just like her audience. Actually, Chicle said it well. Steven, he said it well when he was on here. Just like how you engage with your audience and make them feel like they are like just talking to you and not just talking to someone
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah.
You know? Same way with Serena. But yeah, just so many things that I've already learn from her and admire from her in that aspect.
Aww. Aww.
All right. Chill out.
Okay. Manifest for me real quick.
Yep.
Of course, you guys can come back whenever you want. But let's say you guys come back in. It'll be before then. But let's say in 5 years, where are we at?
Oh my God.
5 years.
5 years.
What's
Those
life
are
looking
important.
like?
Those are important.
I know.
For me,
that's why I was gonna say 3, but I was
those
like,
are important.
Five
Five
years
is
is enough time
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
a change for sure. I would say for me to have had a couple of meaningful roles, whether it's one or two.
Tell them.
Oh,
For sure.
Hi, Erika. In 5 years, it's me. I think in 5 years, I definitely, I hope that I feel fulfilled in
will,
like
I
a
will,
role.
I will.
I will feel fulfilled in a role that I do, not just like any role. I will have like little roles here and there, but there's gonna be one or two that I'm gonna be like, people are gonna know me for. They're gonna be like, you're the girl from that show. Was that good?
That was really good. That was
Okay,
really
okay.
good.
100%.
Your turn.
And that's a wrap, guys. Thank you. We're live.
It could also be professional. It could be personal. It could be.
5 years. Yeah, you didn't say nothing about me.
Oh
man.
shit! Sorry. Wait.
So I'm gonna take advantage.
Wait,
What about the
wait.
dog
So
and the kid?
Yeah, I'm gonna take
the bug?
advantage. I hope to be a great partner to my unbelievably successful wife. You ever see? Honestly, I think about this all the time. It's super corny. And I'll get back to manifestation. She's gonna be winning in 5 years. She's gonna be up there winning an award, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna say everyone that she has to, and then she's gonna look at. She's gonna be like,
You always. I know you
can't
do.
do this
Without my.
without my husband. And then they're gonna pan to me in the crowd, and I'm gonna be crying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be crying. Hopefully, I can hold a kid or my kid or something, because that would be even crazier. I'd be like,
Di-
"Mommy's up there."
Oh, that's
That's so
cute.
good.
Yeah, no, but that's gonna happen. But no, yeah, of course. I'll do a more personal tip. I hope to grow as a person.
Tell yourself that.
I hope to
5
grow
years.
as a person, and just be like the best person I can be. And that's it.
Hey.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank both of y'all for coming on.
Aw,
so much.
Felix, we love you.
We love you guys. I love you guys.
Love you back.
And Serena. And we're, I'm so happy that this has become a budding,
I know.
evolving, spending
Home
more
team.
time, home team, friend group. And I believe in you guys individually as a unit. And your biggest fan. So
Right back at you. We love you.
we'll be hanging out soon
With our dog.
Oh.
with our dogs.
With their dog for sure.
Everyone bring your dog.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
We
you,
love you.
Thank you.